Hello, my name is Monica Bourne, and this is my second book critique. My featured text was Chanticleer and the Fox. In this adaptation from Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, a widow has a rooster named Chanticleer. He has a dream that a fox tries to eat him, but his favorite hen, Partlet, calls him a coward. They move on, but encounter a fox. The fox flatters Chanticleer's voice, and when the rooster goes to crow, the fox grabs him. The widow and all the other animals chase the fox. Chanticleer tricks the fox into taunting the pursuers, and the rooster escapes. The fox tries to persuade him to come down, but Chanticleer will not be fooled. The moral of this story is not to trust flattery. For my first lesson, I did an English language arts lesson for first graders. Chanticleer and the Fox is a fable and has a moral. Using the story, students can express their opinions on the actions of the rooster and the fox and draw a conclusion about why the moral is not to trust flattery. Students can use Blogger to share with other classmates and for the teacher to monitor. This will also be a good means for showing parents what the children are learning regarding critical thinking. This 7th grade science lesson focuses on the flow of energy between organisms. The model for this flow is demonstrated by energy pyramids. The teacher will teach about the levels of organization for animals and the cycle of matter in an environment. Using the story of Chanticleer and the Fox, students will be able to identify the food chain in the story. Once the teacher gives examples and explains the terms, the students will use Kahoot quizzes in groups for another class. The questions will either be to identify the consumer, etc., or if they use Jumble, they can have the other class put the parts in order from producer to tertiary consumer. And this is the example Kahoot that I made using Jumble. In Where the Wild Things Are, Max wears a wolf suit and after getting into trouble is sent to bed without supper. That night, a forest grows in his room and he sails off across the ocean to where the wild things are. The wild things act aggressively towards Max, but then he stands up to them. They call him the most wild thing of all and make him king. He enjoys romping with the wild things but grows lonely and longs for good food. Against the wishes of the wild things, Max sails back to his room and finds his supper there. In White Snow, Bright Snow, the people in the town can feel that snow is coming. As the snow begins to fall, everyone prepares for it. However, the children are excited about the snow. A large snowfall comes and covers everything. The people do what they can to adapt to the weather. As the snow falls that night, the landscape changes appearance under the blanket of snow. People hunker down, but the children play and make snowmen. But with each day, the snow melts more and more, and the people move on to the next season. In this book, the poem has a cumulative pattern that goes from the key to the house to the moon reflecting the sun and back again. The illustrations are black and white with an accent color of yellow. Sylvester Duncan, the donkey, has a hobby of collecting pebbles. One day, he finds a red magic pebble, but on his way back to his house, he is scared by a lion. He panics and wishes to become a rock, and so he does. Since he is not touching the pebble, he is not able to change back, and his family becomes very sad when they cannot find him. Much later, one day, the Duncans go out for a picnic on the rock that is Sylvester. His father picks up the pebble and puts it on the rock. Sylvester wishes and becomes himself again. They take it home and put it in a safe, since they have all that they could want.